About the first product, the Good Life magazine. So I want to stress, this is a beta test, okay? We don't even know if this is going to fly. We are about a third of the way through on firm commitments to get enough to do it. So we're very optimistic. The people in Columbus we've been talking to pretty consistently about it. It's not going to be anything new to them. I will have a roundtable with more information about it, specific pricing and that after we do the roundtable. So feel free to come there. But what I want to start with is kind of positioning at first, right? So again, as we're finally having a chance to breathe and relook at the whole brand and are going forward, one of the things we realize is we're at least I'm looking at it as like small market, mid-market, major market, and the different sort of characteristics, right? So the small markets, your little rural towns and that, are great maybe for a little extra income, part-time, someone retired like that. That's what we got to kind of market that to and put in that position. Mid-market is what we think is still our anchor strength, right? The Sandusky's, the Marions, the Worcesters, the markets that are kind of outside from what we'll call the major markets, the Columbuses and Clevelands and that. And they kind of sit on their own. They tend to have a little more mom and pop businesses and not as overtaken by the chains and stuff like that. That seems to be our real core. The challenge, I think, for the most part, has been what we'll call the major markets, the Cleveland, Detroit, Cincinnati. And you look at our maps and we're just kind of got these pockets in there. And there's a number of reasons that could be. So we're hoping that this might be partly an answer to that. So if any of you guys familiar with Home Mag out there? Anybody familiar with that product? So, okay, a lot of you aren't familiar. So anyway, Home Mag's a pretty good sized company nationwide. And it seems like they've been doing pretty well. And what they do, and I'm going to describe them and us a little bit at the same time, they target it like a geo-demographic targeting, meaning they'll take an area of maybe 200,000 homes. So like in Columbus, we have this big gap. We don't have any markets, right? And so what we've done is take this large geographic area, and we picked 50,000 homes that have the highest income and home value. So we're calling it like an affluent magazine. And you'll notice in here we're trying to appeal, it'll mostly be probably home improvement clients. We're hoping to appeal to luxury stuff, maybe medical, cars, stuff like that. So we'll see if that gives us an opportunity to maybe fit into some of those bigger areas that we haven't been able to stabilize in. And there's areas like East Cuyahoga up in Cleveland we've never been in, so there's big swaths like that. So there's a possibility we hope this could get us there. So what are some of the benefits? And I'm going to talk about this a little bit today. One of the things, and I know the ADs, we talked about this a lot, that while the magazines are foundation, it gives us the greatest opportunity for income and for serving clients, it can be a burden during high costs, off-season months, things like that, right? That becomes the challenge. So anything we can do to maybe bring products that are like a per sale overhead, we're calling it no overhead, but where your only cost is going to be when you make the sale. So when we get to Veracast, that'll be that. That's what this is. So what we're doing is producing this corporately, and we have a per page cost. So when the franchisee sells a page, when we go to print, they're just going to pay us per page to us. So you only have that cost then per sale. A lot of these clients, it'll be seasonal. So right now we're just scheduling 5. We're going to see, we hope we can get up to 10 dates. We're not really sure yet, so we want to see what the customer's reaction is. And a lot of the clients that run in this tend to run it every time and change their ads very little. So we're hoping it's a low maintenance type of client for the most part. And the last thing, and I think this is the biggest thing, and I know Jeff's the one that kind of pointed this out to me when he was looking at the Home Mag in Columbus. He said 90% of those customers he's never even talked to, didn't even know who they were as. Is that correct, Jeff, or am I exaggerating that?
It's true.
Okay, I think it. All right.
They've got a big book. They've got a 48-page book, and I bet I only recognized 6 advertisers in the whole book.
Wow. So, and again, with us trying to go for this local marketing headquarters, offering digital, also that these types of clients could be ripe for us to be able to offer other products and services as well. So anyway, that's what I think really at the end of the day, if we can just get enough of our customers to kind of cover the base, and then from there really grow with brand new customers we've never had, it'd really be a win-win-win. So anyway, we're excited to get this off the ground. The reason I'm bringing it up at the meeting if anybody has any customers in the Columbus area, like you have one that might appeal to this, please contact me. Liz is actually taking the bookings, like we're kind of booking it on the booking page thing we created or whatever, so we're doing it per ad that we're listing it. And the only thing with us producing it, we do have to get to like at least 28 pages or before we're going to put it out. So that's why on this one we have kind of a low cost per home and therefore you need a lot of pages. And I don't want to lose my butt putting this thing so we get it. So we really got to get to at least a minimum page count in the beginning and then hope that we grow it after that. So let's see what's we have real brief, real quick, a couple minutes. Do we have any questions real quick on that? Anybody?
What size ads will be in that book?
Oh, thank you, Will. We have quarter, half, and full.
Are you allowed to do it like a double full?
We will. We didn't have that, but yeah, we can do that.
And then are you going to do any insert options in there?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. We're not going to do carrier route versioning, but we're going to zone it into 5 zones. So we have to get the zone, because the problem is if we did carrier route versioning, we could end up with 50 different versions of the thing. And then it will have a detached card, and we're hoping to zone that as well if we can. So I don't know that we could have that one worked out, but the zones on the inserts we definitely do.
When's the first date targeted?
Thank you, Will. We're thinking March, so we're targeting, and it's on the stuff that I have at my table. It'll show the dates and that. So, okay. Any other questions? And again, I'll have a round table, and I'll have like the sheets that we have to sell it, and for you guys the cost and that. And then we have it like quarter, half, and full different costs, base costs that you go off of. And we have recommended rates, which I think so far. I know Sharon has sold some, Jeff. I mean, we're not hearing any resistance on the price yet, right? Are you guys using those prices?
I haven't. I don't know. Jeff,
I'm
have
sorry.
you had anybody? I mean, a couple of my customers, I didn't even ask them what the price was. They just said, put me in.
Wow, okay. Well, maybe we should raise it a
Bob-
little bit.
That goes to what Bob was talking about.
But the one thing that I am going to say, though,
sells everything else. He
is
says, you know,
Home
right?
Mag is a very good magazine. And I know all those businesses, but we live in Columbus.
Right.
But the problem with what I'm hearing out there from my clients is Home Mag's gotten too big. 48 pages is way too much. And if there's one pager in there, there's 12 pagers. And now they're just shopping around for price. And I think that's why it's been an easy sale right now, because our clients that are running in that magazine, they were getting a great return on their investment. They're not anymore. Like you
Okay.
said, there were 8 grand companies in her book. 7
Wow.
countertops. And at that
Okay.
point, you're shopping price.
So hopefully there's enough. Maybe if we have one with not as many pages, it might have a little better return, a little
I
bit
think
better
it will.
view. I know it's weird in Cleveland. I think Mark brought some in the office, and those were like 28 pages. And there's a lot more competition up there, I think, because they have max values. And is there any other magazines in Columbus anymore, or is that it?
No, that's the Buckeye Local.
Okay, so that, yeah, just one other, okay. So that might be something too regionally. We also have, because it's a little bit off, we're just talking, but Stacy's considering testing this like in conjunction with her mailers. And to the point of, I think what Jeff is saying, if there's 90% of people we normally don't even deal with, could we even possibly put it out, seasonally with your book as an option? So we'll probably try to do a test of that in the spring, hopefully too. So anyway, it's a way to kind of tackle a little different angle on the market we're working at and help us in some of those larger areas. So we really hope it takes off, because it might be a way for us to get back to growing, like to get to Pittsburgh or Indianapolis or stuff like that. It might be a little easier way to get into those markets and then build the satellites around it, a town money saver.
Hey, Bill, just a thought, you may want to grant exclusivity too. Creates a little bit more, you're the only granite countertop person in here.
All right, thanks, Paul. Could you just wait till we get you guys up here? John? You guys haven't met Paul yet, but I guess he's going to talk anyway. Okay, John.
So, this is a beta test. When do you feel that this is going to be, you're going to know whether this is going to work or not, and when would you potentially roll it out to other markets?
So whatever, it's a good question. I don't know what the deadline is for that March, whatever our, probably a couple weeks ahead of the deadline. We want to make sure we have enough by then. So I have to figure out the print dates. And then I don't know, I think, to me, it'd be nice if we at least did a few of them, and kind of like, to Sharon's point, see what kind of response we're getting before we start looking at doing in other areas. I mean, if anybody else wants to do it in an area, we can obviously look at a similar thing to test it.
So,
But,
so is 2024 a possibility for other markets besides Columbus?
I mean, I wasn't thinking that way, but, I mean, whatever people want to look at, try. I would think more late, like in the fall, if we can see, I really want to see if we get, where we get to the page count right away. And again, because we're the ones corporately covering it, that's a huge issue for me. Now, if we want to do a franchise model and somebody one of the ideas of that was, we didn't want to get into a giant mess of out of marketing, commission, and all that, like how we were going to do that. So this just happens to work because we have no markets in there, and so I think if we produce it, so I would say if everyone, hopefully we'll kind of start notifying people as we see the reaction we get there. I think that's it. With a 48-page book from the other one and a big hole, that seems like the perfect place for us to test it. And if we could get a really good start, if we get a really good start, then yeah, we'll want to start pushing it other places quicker, I would think. Okay, Bob?
So, I don't know what Home Mag is, I never seen the product itself. I don't know if you have samples at all around.
I had some in the car.
Oh, okay. Maybe Sharon could get you one during the day.
What you're talking about, that's the new product, it'd be called Good Life, or?
Yeah, it would say like Columbus Good Life, or
Okay.
Sandusky Good
So it's a
Life.
magazine just like?
It's exactly
Home
our,
Mag?
yeah, and it's our magazine, and the Home Mag has got to be. I mean, if anything, it might be a lower page thickness, I think, right? Or
Their covers are thicker.
And I think the first page.
And the first page, and then it gets.
Oh,
And the
okay.
last page of the cover are thicker.
That's interesting because the Cleveland one, I don't think had that, did it?
I think it had
It's kinda hit or
a little
miss.
heavier, the wrap. Yeah, the covers.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they said maybe that has a little heavier cover, and then the rest, but it's basically the same as ours, 50-pound.
I was just going to add for Bob there as well. With the Home Mag, it is almost 100% home improvement. With our product being called the Good Life, you could almost have it be anything that would be, for those luxury homes. You might have jewelry stores, you might have high-end restaurants, and anything that would kind of fall into that Good Life picture for your community could be perfect for it. And of course,
So
home
what about
improvement.
the size of the mag? What
What size is it going to be? It's going to be the same size as our current
Yeah, it's the same
mag.
exact size, and the Home Mag's same size too.
Yeah, it is.
Well, Sharon will get one. You'll see. It's virtually, I guess, other than I didn't even notice it had heavier cover, but
It's hit or miss on the cut. It seems like when we were having a hard time getting paper, then they weren't thick.
oh, okay,
So it's kind of a hit or miss thing.
okay.
So it's basically our same product, just mailed to a larger demographic?
Oh yeah,
That's it, right?
yeah. And all we're doing is, one of the things that is funny with it, when they show their map, it looks like this huge area, but then you got to read it's 50,000 homes. The highest income, highest home value. So it's not like our maps where we're saying every home in that map is getting hit. So that's another kind of, it seems like a little bit of a loose presentation, but that's, you got to,
Based on home value, income per home, is that
yeah.
part of the?
And we did by carrier route, so it's version by carrier route.
But they don't have to do the whole carrier route, they just do that.
No, we do the whole carrier route. In other words, we take those
How about we do, or Home Mag?
Home Mag, I think, is doing this, from what we know, right, Jeff, or Sharon, they're doing the whole carrier. They make it, honestly, it seems very deceiving. Their marketing, they show like little home neighborhoods, and then this home and that home, and it's BS, because they're hitting, if once you go outside of saturation, the postage is gonna really jack up,
Yeah,
so.
that's the point,
Yeah, Dave?
What is the income level and home value that you're targeting?
Mark had, yeah, I'll have it at the round table, because we actually have that kind of stuff. Mark had, I don't know, and that
It's
might,
like 50,
no, it's like 100 and some thousand.
yeah, it's like 150,000 income, and that would be based on one income, not two.
Yeah.
One per household, and then the average home is 550 or 570,000 is the average home that we'll deliver to.
Yeah, we'll go over at the round table, but the main thing to know is that in that area, it'll be the carrier routes that are gonna have the highest income and highest home value. I mean, that's the easiest way to share it with the client, but we'll have that, and it can be on the handouts and stuff too, and you show the client.